On my 18th birthday my parents gave my brother a gold watch and put his name on my cake, so I walked out. I stood there holding the plastic knife while everyone applauded my brother's med school acceptance and admired the gold watch my parents gifted him. Then my mom rolled out the cake, blue frosting, big white letters, "Congratulations, Evan," and laughed like it was just a harmless mix-up. When I packed a bag and stepped into the night, they didn't ask if I was safe, they told everyone I was unstable. "Hi, I'm Daniel, I just turned 18, and on the night that was supposed to be mine, my parents handed my older brother a gold watch, and put his name on my birthday cake. I wish I was exaggerating. It was supposed to be this big milestone. 18. Officially an adult. My mom had been hyping it up for weeks, "We're so proud of you, we're planning something special," all that. For once, I actually let myself believe it. Our living room was packed with relatives. Balloons everywhere. My aunt filming on her phone like I just won an Oscar. My dad clinking a glass, calling for attention. I remember standing there thinking, okay, maybe this is it. Maybe tonight I'm not just Evan's little brother. Then my dad says, "Before we celebrate Daniel, we have something important." And he calls my brother up front. Evan. 22. Golden child. Varsity athlete. Pre-med. The human LinkedIn profile. Mom pulls out this velvet box like we're at the Oscars. Opens it. A watch. Not just any watch, one of those heavy, shiny, "you made it" kind of watches. My uncle actually whistled. Dad says, "This is for all your hard work getting into med school. We're so proud of you." Everyone claps. I'm still standing there holding the stupid plastic knife they gave me to cut my own cake. And then, because the universe has a sick sense of humor, my mom rolls out the cake. Blue frosting. Big white letters. "Congratulations, Evan." Not "Happy 18th, Daniel." Not even a tiny "and Daniel too." Just his name. Front and center. There was this awkward half-second where nobody said anything. Like the room glitched. My cousin actually leaned in and whispered, "Wait, what?" I looked at my mom. She laughed. Actually laughed. "Oh my gosh," she said, "we used the wrong cake. But it's fine. We're celebrating both of you tonight anyway. Both of us. Except only one of us got the watch. Only one of us got the speech. And only one of us had his name spelled correctly in frosting." I felt this heat crawl up my neck. Not explosive anger. Worse. That numb, hollow feeling when something finally clicks into place. Because this wasn't new. This was just, louder. Evan glanced at me, and for a second, just a second, he looked uncomfortable. Then he lifted his wrist and admired the watch like he'd earned oxygen. Someone shoved the cake toward me. "Go ahead, Daniel. Blow out the candles." Candles. Plural. Two crooked numbers stuck awkwardly into someone else's congratulations cake. I didn't blow them out. I set the knife down. And that's when I decided I wasn't staying. I didn't storm out. That would have made me dramatic. I just stepped back like I needed air. Nobody noticed at first. They were too busy crowding around Evan, asking to see the watch up close. My aunt was already posting it on Facebook. I could hear her narrating, "So proud of my nephew. My nephew." Singular. I slipped down the hallway to my room. Closed the door. Locked it. The sound of applause from the living room muffled into this dull hum, like I was underwater. I sat on my bed and stared at my desk, at the acceptance letter from the state university I'd worked my ass off to get into. Engineering program. Scholarships. No one had thrown a party for that. Dad's reaction had been, "That's good, but have you thought about something more ambitious? More ambitious. Like med school. Like Evan." I opened my closet and grabbed the duffel bag I used for basketball practice. I don't even remember deciding to pack. My hands just moved. A few jeans. Hoodies. My laptop. The envelope with my savings, graduation money from my grandparents that I never told my parents about because I knew somehow it would turn into "Evan needs this for textbooks." I paused when I picked up the old photo frame from my nightstand. It was me and Evan when I was maybe 8. He had his arm around me, both of us grinning with missing teeth. Back when he still let me follow him around. Back when he didn't look at me like I was a participation trophy. There was a knock at my door. "Danny?" Mom's voice. She only called me that when she wanted something. "You okay? Come back out. You're being sensitive." Sensitive. I almost laughed. I opened the door just enough to look at her. She had that tight smile on her face. The one she used in grocery stores when the cashier messed up. "It was just a mix-up," she said. "You know how busy we've been with Evan's applications. Don't ruin the night. Don't ruin the night." I felt something inside me finally snap into place, not loud, not explosive. Just, clear. "Whose night is it?" I asked. She blinked like I'd spoken another language. "Don't start," she said, lowering her voice. "This jealousy thing isn't a good look on you." Jealousy. Like I wanted his watch. Like that was the point. I looked past her down the hallway. I could see Evan in the living room, center of attention, wrist out, laughing. Nobody was asking where I was. "I'm not jealous," I said quietly. "I'm done." She rolled her eyes. "Done with what?" I didn't answer. I zipped up the duffel bag instead. And that's when she realized I wasn't bluffing. Her face changed. It wasn't panic. Not at first. It was annoyance. "Daniel, don't be ridiculous," she said, stepping into my room like she owned the air in it. "Where exactly do you think you're going?" "Out," I said. "Out where?" I shrugged. The truth? I didn't fully know. But I knew I couldn't stay. She crossed her arms. "You're 18 for 5 minutes and suddenly you think you're independent." There it was. Not concern. Control. Behind her, I heard Dad's voice booming from the living room. "Where's Daniel?" "Cake's melting." Someone laughed. I picked up my bag. Mom's eyes dropped to it, then back to me. "If you walk out right now, don't expect us to chase you." That sentence hit different. Because for the first time in my life, I realized, they wouldn't. Not because they trusted me. But because they didn't think I'd actually matter out there. "You didn't even notice the cake," I said. She let out this sharp exhale. "We said it was a mistake." "No," I said, my voice steady in a way that surprised me. "The cake wasn't the mistake." She stared at me. "The mistake was thinking I wouldn't notice." Silence. For a second, I thought she might say something real. Something honest. Like, "We're sorry. We messed up." Instead she said, "This is exactly why your brother succeeds. He doesn't make everything about himself." That did it. Not yelling. Not the watch. That sentence. I felt this cold clarity settle in my chest. "I'm not competing with him," I said. "You are." She opened her mouth to respond, but I was already moving. I walked past her down the hallway. The living room went quiet when they saw me with the bag. Dad frowned. "What's this?" Evan stopped mid-laugh, his hand still lifted to show off the watch. I looked at the cake one last time. "Congratulations, Evan. Blue frosting. Perfectly centered." "I hope it's everything you wanted," I said. Dad set his drink down. "Daniel, stop embarrassing yourself." "Embarrassing myself. In my own house. On my birthday." I walked to the front door. Nobody blocked it. Nobody said, "Wait." I opened it, and the cool night air hit my face like a reset button. And right before I stepped out, Evan finally spoke. "Dude," he said, awkwardly. "You're overreacting." I turned back to look at him. For the first time, I didn't feel smaller. I'm not, I said. You just don't know what it feels like to be invisible. Then I walked out. And when the door shut behind me, nobody followed. I didn't have some master plan. I had $386 in an envelope, a half tank of gas in my car, and exactly one person who might answer my call. Marcus. We'd been friends since middle school. He was the kind of guy who never tried to compete with you. He just existed next to you. Solid. Steady. He picked up on the second ring. Yo, birthday man. I swallowed. Can I crash at your place? Pause. Then, what happened? Long story. Another pause. I could hear a door closing on his end, like he'd stepped somewhere private. Come over, he said. No hesitation. That almost broke me more than the cake did. His mom didn't ask questions. She just handed me a blanket and said, "There's leftover lasagna in the fridge." Nobody had ever offered me food that gently before. I lay on Marcus's floor that night staring at the ceiling, my phone buzzing every few minutes. Family group chat. Dad, when you're done with the tantrum, come home. Mom, this is not how adults handle conflict. Evan, bro, just talk to them. Not one message said, "Are you safe?" Not one said, "Happy birthday." Around midnight, Marcus tossed a pillow at me. You good? I stared at the dark. Did you ever feel like you were just extra? He was quiet for a second. Daniel, he said, you were captain of the robotics team. You got into engineering on scholarship. You fixed my car when I almost blew up the engine. You're not extra. I let out a weak laugh. Tell that to my parents. He didn't try to give me some motivational speech. He just said, then maybe they're wrong. That sentence stuck. Because I'd spent 18 years assuming they were the authority on who I was. The next morning, I woke up to 23 missed calls. Not from Mom. Not from Dad. From my grandmother. I sat up fast. She wasn't dramatic. If she was calling like that, something was up. I stepped outside to call her back. She answered on the first ring. Daniel, she said, her voice tight. What did you do? My stomach dropped. What do you mean? They're telling everyone you ran away because you were unstable. That you couldn't handle your brother's success. I actually laughed. Unstable. That was their narrative. They said you've been acting jealous for years, she continued. That you need space to work through your emotions. I stared at the street. They weren't just ignoring what happened. They were rewriting it. And that's when I realized this wasn't about a cake. This was about control. And if I didn't say something now, that version of me, the jealous, unstable little brother, was going to become permanent. I didn't go home. I went online. Not to rant. Not to post some dramatic, cutting toxic people off, quote. I posted a picture. Just one. The cake. Blue frosting. Congratulations, Evan. No caption at first. Then I added. Apparently this was my 18th birthday cake. Proud of you, bro. That was it. No insults. No paragraphs. Just the truth. Within minutes, my phone lit up. Cousins commenting, wait what? My aunt, oh my gosh, was that actually Daniel's birthday? Someone zoomed in on the candles. Someone else tagged my mom. The story they'd started telling. It didn't survive the photo. Mom called immediately. I let it ring once. Twice. Then I answered. What is wrong with you? She snapped. No hello. I posted a picture, I said calmly. You're humiliating this family. I didn't write the cake. Silence. I could hear her breathing. Sharp. Controlled. You don't understand how this looks. I almost smiled. Oh, I understand exactly how it looks. Dad grabbed the phone next. Take it down. Now. Why? Because this isn't how we handle private matters. Private. Like my birthday. Like my feelings. Like 18 years of being second place. I leaned against Marcus's porch railing and looked at the quiet street. I'm not attacking anyone, I said. I'm just not pretending anymore. That's when Evan texted. Not angry. Not defensive. Just. Can we talk? I didn't respond right away. Because for the first time in my life, they weren't controlling the narrative. I was. And the craziest part? The comments kept coming. Not pity. Not drama. People sharing their own stories. This happened to me. I was the invisible sibling too. It felt like someone turned on a light in a room I didn't realize I was sitting in. Evan called. I answered. His voice was quieter than I'd ever heard it. I didn't know, he said. And for the first time. I believed him. I didn't know, he said again, like he needed me to understand that part first. We met that night at a diner halfway between Marcus's place and my parents' house. Neutral ground. Greasy coffee. Sticky menus. The kind of place where nobody cares if your life is imploding in booth 7. He didn't wear the watch. That was the first thing I noticed. He looked tired. Not golden child polished. Just tired. I thought you didn't care, he said. You never said anything. I stared at him. When would I have said it? During your award ceremonies? That stung. I saw it land. I didn't ask them to do that, he said quietly. The cake, the speech, none of it. I know, I said. And I did. That was the weird part. But you never stopped them either. He leaned back like that hadn't occurred to him. I just got used to it, he admitted. They push me hard. I thought they pushed you too. I laughed under my breath. No. They compared me to you. That's different. We sat there in that uncomfortable, honest silence people avoid their whole lives. Then he said something I didn't expect. I hate that watch. I blinked. What? They bought it the same day they told me if I don't stay top of my class, I'll embarrass the family. He ran a hand through his hair. It's not a reward. It's a leash. That shifted something in me. For 18 years, I thought he was the favorite. Maybe he was just the pressure point. We weren't the same. But we weren't enemies either. I'm not coming back, I said finally. Not like before. He nodded slowly. I figured. I got into engineering, I added. Full scholarship. He looked up, surprised. You didn't tell them? I did. He shook his head. That's huge, Dan. That was the first time all week anyone said it like it mattered. We didn't hug. We're not those brothers. But when we walked out of that diner, something was different. Not fixed. Just honest. I moved into a tiny apartment near campus 2 months later. It's not glamorous. The fridge makes a weird humming sound and my couch came from a thrift store. But the cake I bought for myself on my 19th birthday. It had my name on it. Spelled right. My parents still call. Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes it's better. Boundaries aren't loud, they're consistent. Evan texts me more now. Not about grades. Just about life. Turns out, neither of us was invisible. We were just playing roles we didn't choose. The night I walked out, I thought I was leaving because of a cake. I wasn't. I was leaving the version of myself that kept waiting to be seen. And the second I stopped waiting, I finally was.